everyone. So, obviously I'm on my couch, so I obviously made it back alive and well from Zimbabwe, other than getting a bit of a tan, which in February is a bit weird. But other than that, it seems that I have nothing long-lasting as a result of my trip to the southern region of Africa. But I guess we'll see. Malaria has a 7-day incubation period, so, you know, who knows? Maybe it will happen. Very likely it won't, because I've been very careful with that department. And I don't know. Other than that, I've got myself Zimbabwean cigarettes, which are just awesome. Seriously, this particular brand is really awesome. But I also got these ones, because when I decided to finally pack and prepare for, you know, the flight back to Europe, I went to the supermarket, and the shelf that was supposed to be keeping cigarettes was just empty, even though one day before it was full. So that's when I first and the only time got the serious feeling that Zimbabwe is still deeply economically dysfunctional. In fact, the economic dysfunctionality was what I wanted to learn and understand the most, and you cannot really understand it unless you experience it yourself. And part of the economic dysfunctionality is that the prices are denominated in dollars, but they never tell you whether they mean US dollars or Zimbabwean dollars. Because although in theory the Zimbabwean dollar doesn't exist, it actually does. These are the only two available notes, only 5s and 2s, and a few coins. There's nothing bigger than that, so you can imagine when I wanted to pay for an entrance into a particular park, which was 50 Zimbabwean dollars, you just have to give a pile of cash. It was pretty interesting. So yeah, the government insists that this is equivalent with the US dollar, so 2 Zimbabwean dollars is 2 US dollars. That's not particularly true, as you rarely find out. It even says in the newspaper, on the streets, it's actually more like 3.5 Zimbabwean dollars for US dollar. So that was pretty interesting. Obviously, I will explain a lot of these in a dedicated video, but I just wanted to show off with the souvenirs that I got. Also, amongst the souvenirs, where the hell did I put those? Because I really wanted to show them to you. Yeah, there you go. This is 20 pula from Botswana. I really wanted to get small notes and especially coins of Botswanan currency. Sadly, no luck with that. But I spent 22 US dollars for 200 pulas, and I got the full series of Botswana pula. So at least that. Maybe one day I'll be going to Botswana, and if and when that will happen, I'll obviously come with a full bag of 1 pula banknotes and 2 pulas and 5 pulas. So yeah, that was funny. I also, of course, got for my own collection a South African rand and a Namibian dollar. Yes, 10 Namibian dollars and 20 South African rand. I would have gotten more, but contrary to what you read on the internet, actually the Botswana pula and the South African rand are not that common in Zimbabwe. Most, other than this particular Zimbabwean bonds, they call it, other than these, the US dollar is the de facto currency. So yeah, I couldn't get much more in this department of souvenirs. But other than that, I got a lot of knowledge. The amount of knowledge that I was able to get from Zimbabwe from this particular trip is far exceeds what I would have gotten by researching it at home. So in essence, I learned about that particular region of the world more in 6 days than I would have learned probably in 6 months of research, if not more. So in that regard, that was nice. Among the things that I learned is that in African airports, they confiscate your lighters. So I'm forced, at least for today, at least for later on today when I'll get to a store, to use the lighter that was donated to me by a German fan. Thanks a lot. Danke schön, mate. On my way back to Europe, I had a layover in Frankfurt. Because yeah, they confiscated all my lighters. Half of them they confiscated them from me on my way towards Zimbabwe in the Addis Ababa airport, that's in Ethiopia. and the other half on my way back. So yeah, they confiscate your lighters. It was really funny in the Harare airport in Zimbabwe. They have a smoking lounge. It's very cozy and nice, but nobody has a lighter because they confiscate all your lighters before before you enter the airport. So it was a pretty nice adventure going around the place and said, I don't know, can I buy a lighter? Can I borrow a lighter? But from whom? And eventually it was whispered to me, the guy with the bookshop, he's a heavy smoker. So yeah, I went to the guy with the bookshop who did, and then of course I paid a rent for it. By the way, $2 Zimbabwean is a pack of cigarettes. So it's really nice if you get some of these. Otherwise you're gonna pay $2 which is still cheap by European standards, but it's so nice to get these for 70 cents because they're really, really good. These ones not so much, but the Madison are just excellent, which is not a surprise. I mean, tobacco is big business in Zimbabwe, one of the very few top tier products that the country exports, which by the way is not really heavily consumed in the country. I mean, smoking is very rare in Zimbabwe, but they don't have any of the retarded policies that exist in Europe. So for a smoker is really nice in that department. In terms of violence, that was a serious positive surprise. I expected it to be more in line with what I knew from South Africa. It's far from reality. What you see in Zimbabwe is just the complete opposite. The people are just incredibly nice, to the point that they become annoyingly nice, dare I say. Yeah, so yeah, basically I made it out alive, very likely malaria free. And I'll be getting back to work. There's a long queue of videos. I didn't have the time to videotape all the other good news video episodes before I left to Africa, so I'll be taping them in the next few days and publishing them, and then I'll start working on the queue that you can see on the website. Speaking of the website, I will add it in the description once I write it. I will write a longer article about this probably later on tonight or maybe tomorrow, I don't know. It's been a very long journey, more than almost 24 hours by flight, and then I took a break in Budapest, slept for a night, and then today all day by train. So yeah, it's been a very long journey, but I'll slowly get back to the workflow. There's a lot of work to be done. And also, of course, I'll be dedicating at least one video, if not 2 or 3, either one very long one or 2 or 3 divided by topic, shorter ones on Zimbabwe. I didn't get enough footage by my standards anyway, because there's still a lot of tension created, of course, by the government. I mean, for instance, you're not supposed to videotape government buildings. And there's a problem because most of the time when you walk the streets, you cannot really grasp, or maybe, how should I put it? It's just not immediately obvious which building is governmental and which building is not. So as a result, oftentimes it's pretty tense to walk around the street and videotape like I usually do. Nevertheless, I did some of that, hoping that I won't be breaking the law, and I don't know if I did because nobody bothered to tell me to stop filming, which was nice. I always hate it when someone tells me to stop filming. So yeah, but as I said, I didn't have enough, I didn't get enough footage by my standards. So if I may repeat the footage sometime in some videos, life is tough. But other than that, yeah, in most of the things that I expected to see, either I did not see or were there, but in much smaller amounts than I expected. And perhaps unsurprisingly, the things that I thought would be fairly easy and straightforward turned out to be the most difficult, like accessing local currency, for instance. Which, by the way, if you cannot do it, life can be pretty damn expensive in Zimbabwe. But once you access the local currency, it's actually pretty kosher. So yeah, I'll just get back to work and yeah, see you around, I guess. By the way, thanks a lot for the peeps who've already contributed to the project for us to go to the Intermarium Summit. Just a few hours before I had the train scheduled to get to Budapest and then from there to fly to Africa, I got the information that the Intermarium Summit, the 3 Seas Initiative 2019 in Ljubljana, will be in early June. So that means accreditation process can start in mid-May, which means we have about 3 months, give or take, to gather the funds to get me and my partner over there. If you like the coverage that we offered in 2018, help us to provide similar, if not better, for 2019. Perhaps this year we'll be having more content in English. Last year we covered a lot in Romanian and not so much in English, but this year we also have a website, so we might be able to do live text, and who knows, maybe we'll be able to get more interviews. It's gonna be in a much better, I hope so, in a much better organized fashion, because we have more time to prepare it. Last year we just didn't know until that week. Basically, it was kind of terrible from that perspective. So yeah, thanks a lot for those who helped there, and do visit the website and see if you like what you see, and if you like, maybe you can help us for that particular project. All right, for now that's pretty much it, although I do have some other very nice stuff in the store, or in the shelf, may I say, for you, but I'll be letting you all know in due time, depending on how fast I can confirm things. For instance, now I know that for sure there will be a German tour. I still don't know the dates, because suddenly this Intermarium thing means that I cannot be in the German tour in late May, so it's gonna have to be earlier in May. So I don't know the dates yet, but we'll try our best not to overlap things. So yeah, with all of that being said, see you all soon. Cheers.